I'm Richard.
And I'm Will.
And together we're
the Irreverent Nerds. Bum, bum, bum.
Hey nerds, do you have dreams of starting a podcast but need some help getting it off the ground? Do you have an existing podcast but are unhappy with your current hosting site? Either way, Anchor.fm might be for you. They offer in-app recording and editing tools which include free licensed background music, interludes, and sound effects. Of course, you can also upload any compatible audio file. And just recently, they began offering video podcast uploading in connection with their parent company, Spotify. So go check it out. Anchor.fm might be just what you need to get your podcasting dreams off the launchpad. I'm Richard.
I'm Cartoonist Will.
And together we're the Irreverent Nerds.
I forgot the name of our podcast.
Well, that was terrible. We should do it again.
It was terrible.
I'm Richard.
And I'm Cartoonist Will.
And together we're
the Irreverent Nerds.
And we are kicking off our very first video podcast.
Kicking it.
Yes, kicking it very hard. We're recording this sucker in 4K. I don't think it'll upload to Spotify in 4K, but we'll have it that way in case we ever want to put it on YouTube.
I've never been in 4K before.
Yeah. I have. It's up close and personal. Shows your pores. Yeah. So anyway, we're hoping to have fun with this tonight. I think we're both feeling a little different, a little self-conscious about the video because it's like a lot of technical things all going on at once. We've got an audio recording going on here on the table. Then we've got separate mics going on here for the video.
Can't hide the truth.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, only those of you watching this on Spotify can see us. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Google, we still love you. But check us out on Spotify sometime. Yeah. All right. So, as we have started the last two episodes, let's do our 2.5 minute drill. So I'll go first this time.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll switch it up. So, what's going on in my life this week? Well, my wife, who is over here in our kitchen making spaghetti right now, she had an art show. Is that the right term for it? Art show?
Exhibition?
Maker's Market. So, a local art museum hosted a Maker's Market where local artisans and artistes were able to sell their wares. So my wife had a booth there and was there for 8 hours. Well, all total, it was almost 12 hours total, right?
Wow. We've never had a convention that long before.
Oh, man, yeah.
We came... With setup it was.
Wait.
If you include setup and takedown.
Are we talking about separate days or just one day?
Just one day.
Oh, that is a long time.
Yeah.
Nope.
But yeah, it went well. It was a successful endeavor. Good sales day. And yeah, me and our kids went out there a couple times with her and had fun. Well, I shouldn't say. But yeah, we went out there to see her there at the
Y'all
place.
had fun. She was at her table.
Yeah.
I had fun.
I'm kidding.
She made money.
Oh, that's great.
That's usually fun.
I usually don't do that at my conventions.
Oh, yeah.
Well, occasionally. I might sell one vote.
Well, you've sold more creative things than I have ever sold, so.
This is true.
I produced a lot, but haven't made any money off of any of it yet. Maybe someday. Speaking of which, if we get 8 new listeners this week, or I should say 8, then we'll be up to 50 individual listeners. In other words, 50 total people who have listened to our podcast at some point, and we will be able to put ads in and make a little bit of money. Probably not much initially, but hey, it's a start, right? But that's not our main goal. Our main goal is just to have fun.
Yes.
And if we make some money along the way doing that, that's great.
Because when you mix money with pleasure, you hate everything.
Yeah, we don't want to turn it into a job. No, actually, I really enjoy my job right now.
Yeah.
Which I haven't been able to say for much of my career, but I'm at a workplace where I do actually enjoy it. And
I enjoy my
I forgot to set the timer for myself. I don't know if I'm at 2.5 minutes or not. Yeah, I just use my watch, for those of you that are watching.
Well, he does that. I did turn my comic
All right, your turn.
hobbies into a career. It wasn't a full-time career, but yeah. I mean, I did that to de-stress, but now it was stressful, so, you know. Might not be a good idea for everybody to try. So, what's going on with my life?
Yeah. What's going on with you? It can be anything. Anything you want to talk about that happened this past week.
I think it was the past week, but I finally finished my Proton Pack.
Yeah. And, by the way, guys, you really should go to Spotify and check this thing out, because it is awesome.
So, we've got the slime distribution system as seen in the 2009 Ghostbusters, the video game. We've got a cat's eye up here. This is actually one of the original cat eyes, like from Ghostbusters 2, and obviously didn't come. It was, you know, it's the same brand, and it's really that old. I don't mean this one was in the movie. No, we've got the slime blower attached to the proton wand. This was a Spirit of Halloween proton pack, but I gutted it. Can y'all see that better now? I gutted it, put in new electronics. Here's the slime tank.
Yeah, we'll post pictures of this later to Instagram, so you guys can see it in its glory.
There's the motherboard side. Got I don't know if that's an Alice frame pack or not, but it was one I found, and it worked.
So how much time do you think you put into that totals thus far?
Well, I bought the Spirit of Halloween Proton Pack in 2018, but the actual build we're seeing here, maybe I started in around the end of January or sometime in February, so I'm going to say, it's the 4th month? I don't know, 2 months maybe to build.
Okay. Yeah, and just like working on it part-time on your days off, that kind of thing.
Yeah, at night, late at night. I've been obsessed with it.
That's cool though, man. Like that's really awesome. Like I'm not.
Yeah, we're gonna make a movie actually.
Yeah. I think you talked a little bit about that last week. Like how your wife is interested in being in a Ghostbusters film.
Yeah,
with you.
It was her idea actually, and it's really weird because she doesn't take this kind of interest in my creative things, but she did. She said, "Hey, let's make a fan film." I tried to make a short Ghostbusters fan film when I was in animation film major in college, and that didn't get completed, although a trailer of our completed scenes is on YouTube. But you know, we'll try again and see if we can make something this time.
Speaking of things on YouTube, at some point we should.
You told me to put that down.
No, remember I had you put it back on Facebook not too long ago.
I don't think I ever took it off Facebook. It was just hidden.
He and I made a video. What was this? 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. It's been a while.
Yeah. It was.
It was for a school project, wasn't it?
When the Ghostbuster film failed because my actor Tom Gray was too busy to film, which is fine, you know, because now that I'm married, I'm pretty busy too. We did a movie with Richard.
He says we. It's like himself and himself. You know,
it's we. It was just me and Richard. Did a movie.
We did a movie together. He, himself, and him. Yeah, it was called Redneck versus Otaku. Right? Yeah.
And it had no script.
We
just went out there and did crap.
We'll see if we can post it to either provide a link to it or maybe put it up on our YouTube channel at some point. Like, we could even do like a reaction video of us watching it. Or maybe we could drag our wives in and let them watch it and then react.
You want to see this crap? No.
Sure.
Oh man. No, I thought it was my favorite. My favorite part is when you fire your laser.
That's everyone's favorite part.
It's hilarious. Plus, he did special effects too. What was it? Adobe Lightroom. Adobe Lightroom that you used. Is that the right program name?
I don't remember. I was using Adobe After Effects in college, but I also had this other particle effects program or something that had some pre-made effects that I also used. I don't know. But, yeah, that was a last-minute panic film that we created because the project was due and the movie I was working on that was a lot more complicated and a lot more in depth wasn't going to happen.
Oh yeah.
But that's too bad. But you know, life goes on.
It was fun though. He even made his own end credits with complete with Japanese music and everything.
The end credits were longer than the actual film.
That's hilarious.
And if you look closely in the end credits, we got Leonard Nimoy on set. He played a tree in the background.
Oh yeah, in the credit.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I'm not trying to say he's stiff. It was just a random joke. Is he stiff though? I don't know.
Not even, like, if you've ever seen what is it? Is Spock's brain?
Is it Star Trek?
Not Spock's brain. There's an episode in the original series. You've seen the original series, right?
Yeah. Not every.
There's an episode, where he gets blasted in the face by that flower on the alien planet. Then he gets all goofy and he falls in love with a girl.
And then he tries to murder Kirk.
Yeah, because he got jealous.
For sex.
So that
I didn't.
That was like
the,
his goofy side. But...
I heard about it. I didn't see the episode.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
That's how it was explained to me. It was like
we'll have to review
his hormones is raging so much he decides to murder James Kirk for sex. That's what I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's another one where they have to do like a ritual battle, and it has something to do with Vulcan mating.
That was a separate episode?
Yeah, it was
so
a different
he tried
episode.
To kill Kirk for sex twice. Darn it, Kirk! Give me some woman. You had all of them. I just want one or two.
Yeah. Just give me one. That's all I ask. He did get married later, but you don't.
What?
Yeah, you only find out about it in the books, though. Like, if you read into the expanded universe novels and stuff, I know it's talked about in some of the ones that William Shatner wrote.
Yeah.
But then there's a couple of other ones that feature Spock, where he does eventually get married, but like he and his wife, I don't think see each other very often. Probably similar to his dad, Sarek, and his wife, because he's like I think Spock becomes an ambassador eventually to Romulus.
Well, he is definitely an ambassador in the reboot films that involve time travel, so they're still canon. The Abrams films.
Oh, wait.
There's one or two of those I haven't seen. I've definitely seen like the first
he's an
ambassador.
Yeah. Like he becomes. Because I know during the Next Generation period, like he went to Romulus kind of in secret and was trying to help, behind the scenes build the groundwork for there being peace between Vulcan and Romulan.
Cool.
Romulus, I should say. And then later, I think that's probably where they reference it. Then that's probably where I got that from. Like, he became an ambassador to Romulus.
Yeah, well, they keep calling him ambassador in the Abram films.
Yeah, like, but obviously
old Spock, not new, young, past Spock, of course.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Spock from the Prime universe.
The Leonard Nimoy Spock. Prime Spock.
Prime Spock. Yep. You guys got that for free. Star Trek: The Original Series.
It's on the schedule.
Yeah, that's how we like it. It's spontaneous and fun, right? We both like Star Trek, and we are gonna do. We're definitely gonna do an episode or two on Star Trek together at some point. I found out recently something I didn't know about Will, that he really likes Star Trek: The Next Generation, which I do as well.
We need to hang out more.
I know. Yeah, that's part
all sorts of things you don't know about me, apparently.
I know. That's part of the reason for this. It's like two nerds rediscovering their friendship or rekindling their friendship.
I own a Tribble.
So I thought I had a thought for a logo. Because eventually I want to update our logo. I had a thought.
Oh yeah.
Is like the two of us sitting at a campfire with two sticks, roasting some kind of comic book, and obviously it would need to be some kind of title that would be appropriate to burn, as a joke. But like the two of us like sitting at a campfire.
Oh, because we're roasting comics.
Okay. Yeah, and we're the Irreverent Nerds, so we have to be a little bit sacrilegious when it comes to the comic world at some point.
I'm not the angry video game nerd. I don't want to just burn a copy of Beavis and Butthead just because I hate it. Okay. Well, if I come up, it'll probably be something. I'll let you know if I come across something in my long boxes that
I don't mean you and me literally burning. I meant like a drawing. Not us literally burning comic books. No.
Oh, I thought you meant we were going to take a photo.
That would be funny too, but
okay.
But no, I was thinking more of like an illustration. Yeah, that's just a thought that came to my weird brain earlier today.
Yeah, I can do a drawing.
All right, so we should transition to our "What have you been reading?" segment. You brought some stuff with you, but like, is any of that stuff you've been reading recently?
No.
Okay.
No,
so at this point, we can just talk about.
I tried getting into Zelda manga, but I haven't had time to pick it up. But I hadn't really read anything lately.
No, I just
not the past week anyway.
Because I haven't read that much this past week either. So maybe what we can do for this segment is just talk about stuff that you have read that you enjoy.
Time to dig into this then?
Yeah, man. Let's go for it.
So I'm going to be talking, and I thought about doing a Japanese jaunt on this, but 5 minutes is there's just so much to cover. 5 minutes is not enough. We may or may not review the Rabbit Chronicles or whatever crazy thing they're calling it, the Usagi cartoon on Netflix.
Ah, that would be cool.
I don't know if we will. But I've got, these are just some random copies. I own every soft or hard trade paperback, more or less, that Stan Sakai has put out. This is Stan Sakai's Usagi Yojimbo. Why did I bring these for specifically? I've got Senso, which is the end of the entire series and connects it with Space Usagi, which is one of Usagi. Well, first of all, Usagi Yojimbo, that's not his name, that's the series title. Usagi is his name. I think that's his family name, his which we would, in America, would say our last name. Miyamoto. That's actually the rabbit's
Usagi Yojimbo Miyamoto?
Personal name. Yeah. Yojimbo just means bodyguard because that's, he's a... Is he
a Ronin? I was trying to remember.
Yes.
He is. Okay, he's a Ronin.
And when he was first introduced, the second story, he was a bodyguard. We've got Usagi Yojimbo Yokai, which was a special 25th anniversary book. And then we've got book 33 and book... There's not a number on that. This is like 12 or 13 or something. But the reason why I brought these...
Oh, you signed?
Yeah.
Cool.
I have the majority of my collection signed by Stan Sakai, but Stan actually doodled in these 4 books. And I don't know why he chose these 4 books specifically to doodle in for me, but he did.
That's cool. So I don't know if I know this story. Like, when did you meet Stan? More than once, I'm assuming? Oh, okay, so that's the picture.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll let you guys see. This is me with Stan Sakai in 2019. It's my nephew in the picture because we took him there. But
we can... I don't know if it'll show up on video. We can post it to Instagram later if you want.
Yeah, it's... Well, yeah, but...
or that could actually... When we should do an episode on Usagi Yojimbo. That could be like...
Yeah, it'd be cool.
The album cover, or podcast cover.
But that was Heroes Con, the biggest convention in the state back in 2019. Stan Sakai and I'm having a brain fart. Sergio. I don't profess to pronounce these things correctly, but Aragones. They were coming to Heroes Con. This is a little doodle and Senso. They were coming to Heroes Con, and it was my big chance to meet them because I'm not flying out to California.
Why not, Will?
Because I don't have the money.
You should visit California though someday.
All
seriously.
the money building a proton pack.
Oh yeah.
I'm in debt. Save me.
I have so much credit card. It's not even funny.
But I really love this and this series. And Stan Sakai has been doing Usagi Yojimbo since '84, I think.
Wow.
It has been consistent.
He seems like a nice. Yeah. Like he looks like a nice guy. Like he kind of
That's what everybody says about it.
It's like the guy from if the old man from Up was crossed with the guy from Karate Kid. Was it? It kind of looks like if they merged as a person. That's kind of what he looks like.
So Up and who now?
Dang it. Karate Kid.
Oh, you mean Miyagi?
Miyagi. Yes, I couldn't think of his name. The character's name.
Stan Sakai is a Japanese man. I can't remember if he was born in Japan or not. I think he might have been, but he was raised in Hawaii and he lives in California now.
Nice.
He is a member of the National Cartoon Society, so am I. And,
oh yeah.
Are we ready to talk about this?
Yeah, man.
Now I'm not a full national member. I'm just a Southeast chapter, and I don't have a lot under my belt. I talked about that earlier. It's turning my hobby into a career. It's been a lot of disappointments in life, a lot of frustrations. Man, that's a can of worms. I don't know if I should fully open, but
yeah, let's keep the focus on the comics for now. But yeah, we can definitely. That's something I want to be a semi-regular feature of our podcast is that we talk about indie comics, and I'd love to even interview some indie comic artists, like from our state or just from other states. I think that would be really cool.
I'll hook you up. I know a lot of people.
Yeah, man.
And so these that I just showed y'all are my self-published works, and I'll hand these off to you. You've probably already seen these though, but I don't know. Maybe there's one you haven't. Oh, really? Cool. And Crackerjack Comics #1 by Indelible Publishing Company, small publishing company. They're trying to bring Dell and the public domain stuff back from the Dell days. And it's got this really interesting character called the Shape. There's some new stuff in here. I think the Shape is definitely public domain and old, but definitely some new stuff in here as well. And I drew a story, a short story. You know how you ever seen those comics where they take the main series characters, but then they turn them into little children? They call it Little something or another.
Yeah, like Young Avengers, stuff like that. Or, or the DC version.
I think Young Avengers is a little different.
But Young Justice,
like
or whatever.
Tiny Titans.
Oh yeah, like Tiny Toons, Tiny Toons.
Tiny Titans.
Oh, Tiny Titans. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
I was thinking of Tiny Toons, though. That's from my childhood back in the day. Well, you probably watched it too, right? Tiny Toons.
I mean, those were original.
Tiny Toon Adventures. Oh. Anyways,
Buster isn't a young bug, so those original characters, but it's similar.
That's true. Never mind.
So I took the indelible superheroes and one villain. Well, the script was by Dave No. Hey, Dave. So, showing off our story, Dave. So he wrote this story where we took the indelible superheroes. This particular story is called Little Neutro, Playground Bully. It was originally meant for a Neutro graphic novel where the anti-hero Neutro, he's kind of a villain, kind of a hero. He's a robot and he doesn't have a moral compass, so basically...
Kind of like man, I'm tired. I'm having brain farts. The character from Futurama.
You mean Bender?
Bender. Yeah, he doesn't really have a moral compass.
No, he has a moral compass. He just doesn't care.
He's a sociopath. No.
But anyway, so we did Little Neutro. We got... Is that Owlman? No, not Owlman.
That's really cool, man. I hadn't seen this.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've got Owlgirl and the Owl. That's it, the Owl. And we've got Fleeta and...
So you did all the art for this?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
It was colored by Anna Hawley of Hawley Art Productions. I forget. Maybe that's what it is. So shout out to them as well. We've got the mostly unclothed Phantasmo. Was it Dracula? I think his name was actually Dracula.
I must say those are some awkward nipples.
I like to draw nipples for some reason.
Oh man.
My recent client was like, "We don't need nipples." But I want to draw them.
Yeah, so we'll post. We'll do at least one or maybe one post for each series, and I'll do like a picture of each cover to feature on there, and then provide the link to your. Do you have a website?
Thank you. Well,
you used to have a website, right? Do you still?
No, I have several. I've got
several websites.
MiloComics.com. I've got one Patreon. Got some Facebook pages.
You got Patreon? Oh,
nice. You didn't know? You didn't know you could be paying me on a monthly basis?
I did not know this.
You can join my all of 2 subscribers right now.
Hey, two's more than 0. Oh, that's cool.
I really need to update that. I've been busy building the Proton Pack and struggling with my seasonal depression, which I think is finally over now. But yeah, I need to get back to that. I've been posting my client work up there since it's related. But yeah.
Nice, man. This man is more prolific than I thought.
I also do a podcast.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and honestly, like that is something I'd love to see the podcast kind of go. You know, because there's a lot of like nerdy podcasts out there that talk. You know, and we're going to talk about Doctor Strange in this episode. But there's what we are, because we love that stuff too. Like we do. But there's a lot of podcasts and YouTube channels dedicated to all the mainstream. You know, basically people that I mean they're really well done. Like many of them, they really invested and they've studied these things, and they have good production value. But at the end of the day, you are kind of piggybacking on someone else's work, in a sense.
In a podcast, yeah, fan comics too.
But I like the idea of like along the way, like creating some of our own original content. Like,
cool.
You know,
how would we do that?
Skits or things like that we could do for for Instagram, like or even like audio skits. Like we could write our own stories, like at some point, or like have other people who've written stories come on.
Cool.
Like all kinds of stuff. Like I've got lots of ideas, but I'd love to gear more towards that, where we have collaborators and more interviews with actual people that actually produce things.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and people that aren't normally going to get featured in a mainstream podcast because they're trying to get famous people, you know, or at least semi-famous people. You know, like I watched a video, and nothing wrong with this. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. Please hear me when I say that, but video on YouTube, and didn't have a lot of traction, but it was they were interviewing Tim Sale, you know, and he's sort of like B-level famous. Like I didn't know what he looked like, but I knew his name because I love his artwork in comics and when he collaborates with Jeff Loeb, like we've talked about. But I couldn't have told you what he looked like, you know. So he's like name famous, and he probably prefers it that way, I would imagine, but not so much.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm sure that people know what he looks like since he goes to the cons. Well, me and you, like back in 2010, we tried to meet Tim Sale at Heroes Con 12 years ago, and it's like, what, his flight got canceled or something? I don't remember, but he wasn't there.
I'm not sure. I think I met one famous person there. I've got a picture with him. Scott Adsit was his name.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know what he's done since then, but at the time he was on 30 Rock, which was a NBC.
He was there in 2010, or he was
and
a different time.
He was just there to enjoy the con. I think he was in Charlotte for some reason.
Who did he play?
He played. I think he was like.
Wait, 30 Rock or Third Rock from the Sun?
No, 30 Rock.
Oh, I don't
30 Rock was an NBC comedy, like back when The Office and Parks and Rec, and they were all coming and Community.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, so like I knew who he was, and so I got a picture with him and stuff, and he seemed mildly annoyed in the photo.
Oh no, people recognize me.
Like, oh damn it! I wanted to be anonymous here.
Don't tell anybody.
Well, you shouldn't have been on TV. No.
Yeah.
No. He was cool, and he let me get a photo with him, and I just told him I appreciated his work on 30 Rock, and but anyway, but yeah, that's something we're planning a potential trip together down to Heroes Con this year. Tentative. Yeah, it's possible. He might, or maybe he hails.
Heroes Con this
maybe
year.
he hails from Charlotte, perhaps.
Well, if he was just a customer,
like he might live in New York now, but maybe he's from Charlotte. Maybe who knows?
Okay. Who knows?
Or he just happened to be in Charlotte, you know, and was like, I like comic books. I'm going to go to the comic book convention.
Speaking of people who didn't make the flight.
Plug for Heroes Con if you live in the Carolinas.
Yes.
North or south. or even Georgia, because it's not, depending on where in Georgia, you know. Although I'm sure there's probably one in Atlanta, I would think. Some kind of con. Like,
Atlanta,
as
Georgia?
big as Atlanta is, I'm sure there is one.
I am less familiar with the South Carolina conventions or any other states, but for the most part. But, well, I mean, obviously Comic-Con and what...
Oh, yeah, San Diego.
San Diego.
That's the big one,
I
yeah.
almost said San Francisco.
And you went to one in New York one time. Didn't you?
Yes, I went to the MoCA. I went to Museum of Comic and Cartoon Art Festival. That was one of my earlier conventions, I think. I was seeing a Chinese girl up there, and I flew up, and that didn't work out. I'm glad. I really love my wife. So, you know, I was, you know, glad that didn't work out. But it was really great to see New York and to go to MoCA. She was selling her work there, Jay Ann. She was selling her work. No, not Jay Ann. I'm tired. No, that's... was it Jay Ann? I don't know if I'm thinking about the Chinese girl or a Spanish girl.
She was Asian. I remember that. She was of Asian descent. Like, I think her parents were immigrants, and she was like second gen, or well, first, whatever you call it.
I don't.
But anyway,
remember.
I do remember that. I do remember you going up there.
She was selling her work. She went to an art college institute up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if she got into comic books after that. She wanted to be hired or published through Tokyo Pop, and Tokyo Pop eventually went out of business. So they might be back now. I'm not sure. But that's beside the point. It was great to go to New York and to man, it's gonna bother me if I don't remember her name. But you know, it was great to go to New York, go to MoCA. But as far as South Carolina cons go, Dragon Con, which I don't think is Atlanta. I don't remember. It could be Atlanta. I feel like it's a different city, but that's the only one I know of that's really big down there.
It's probably Atlanta, I would imagine.
They have a Ghostbuster parade. They give out like a Crunch Award. I want to go for the Ghostbusters.
That'd be fun. It's only 5 hours away.
Yeah, but
maybe someday.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, we're right at about the halfway point. Trying to keep this around an hour. You know, because you guys' time is valuable, right? Not that you have to finish listening / watching, but you know, please do. You know, if you started, just finish with us, okay?
We have little.
This is a good point, actually. Let's make a plug right here for our podcast. So, if you're listening to this, please, take just a minute to follow us on Spotify. I don't want to coerce you into it. I mean, if you're listening to this and you're like, these guys suck, you know, you don't have to follow, you know, but if you like us,
boo us.
Yeah, if you like us, then follow us on Spotify or subscribe on Apple Podcast. Also, feel free to leave a review on Apple Podcast. You can leave a negative one if you want, or a positive one, just some kind of review.
Create a religious cult around us and then scrawl ugly things in bathroom stalls. Go here for some crap. I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're also on Google Podcasts. I think the term is subscribe on Google Podcasts as well.
Oh, okay.
And then of course we have an Instagram, Irreverent_Nerd. So you can follow us on there. And it's kind of just me posting right now, but we're gonna, like with this episode, we're gonna put some of Will's stuff up, and we're gonna try to make it more of a collaborative effort. And so we're
in the Indelible. We'll connect with them.
Yeah.
I mean, not connect. We put an URL.
Oh yeah, do it like do a reference or.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the Indelible book, Crackerjack Comics, is on sale on Amazon. My stuff's on anyplanet.com, but their stuff's on Amazon.
Anyplanet.com. Oh, okay, cool. You guys heard it here. So anyway, yeah, and we do have a YouTube channel. I haven't done much with it yet. We'll probably put this up there in addition to it being on Spotify.
Yeah.
I think we'll put it up probably a week later because we want you to go to Spotify, and check out our brand new video podcast. That's a cool thing, right? Not too many people offer those at this day and age. Like Joe Rogan's the most famous one that I know of. Like he's exclusively on Spotify. But he's got like millions of listeners / viewers. But Spotify just started, or Anchor, I should say, Anchor.fm just started offering the option to every creator. So we're going to take advantage of it. So yeah, anyway, like I said, follow us on Spotify, subscribe on Apple or Google Podcast, and or to an RSS feed. Find us there too. So that's our little promo for the Irreverent Nerd podcast. All right, so we should probably start talking about Doctor Strange.
We should.
Our what are we watching feature for today's episode. All right, so I thought we'd start with what was our first exposure to Doctor Strange. I can start, and you be thinking about it. What your first exposure to Doctor Strange was?
Yeah, I remember now.
So for me, I did not have a lot of interaction with the character Doctor Strange, to be honest, until Benedict Cumberbatch put on the cape, if you will, and I saw the first movie in the MCU. But I had seen a Marvel animated film which I think both Marvel and DC have done this. They test the waters for movies by making an animated film first. So this came out not too long before the live action, I think. And I remember it being pretty good. That was my first exposure. I had not read any. Actually, today was the first time I've read any Doctor Strange comics. Believe it or not.
Was the animation you saw, was that the animated origin story with the invisible people and the invisible monster?
It's possible.
Okay,
I
saw that one too.
I don't recall. I don't know if there's been more than one. There may have been, but
I don't know.
It was the one that came out before.
Apparently, there
the
was
live
a
action
TV.
film.
There was a made-for-TV movie in the 70s.
Oh,
I found
yeah,
that out today.
Yeah,
I
I just saw that on
really?
Instagram. It's getting a Blu-ray release.
What?
Yeah, it's either GameSpot or Nerdist.
That's crazy.
I follow GameSpot and I follow Nerdist on Instagram, through our Instagram account.
I'm sorry, I just realized that Gospel Man, the guest artist that did this cover, gave Gospel Man only 3 fingers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the first time I ever noticed that. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, I think he has 4.
Does he? Well, he has a thumb.
Yeah, he has 3 fingers and a thumb.
That's okay.
Oh, well, maybe his other one was just tucked back behind. It's okay. No,
He's a cartoon character.
That's a cool cover though.
3 fingers.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, Josh Hawley, another Hawley House. That's it. Hawley House. Another member of Hawley House. Yeah.
Okay. So
Thanks, Josh, again.
A small publishing company, or they're an artist collaborative, or
husband and wife.
Oh, okay, husband and wife. So
Hawley House.
So they created their own publishing company, basically.
I think so.
Is it
or
mostly
art
just
studio? I don't know.
Art studio.
A little bit of both, probably.
Okay. Cool. But that's cool. Husband and wife working together and that stuff. That's pretty cool. I try to help my wife out with her art. My wife's an artist, by the way. Check her out. Laura Morales Studios on Instagram at Laura Morales Studios. She also has a website, laura-morales.com. And she does primarily watercolor. That's her main medium, with some ink highlighting and such. But yeah, check her out. Yeah.
I don't think I knew about a website, so I'm going to have to check that out too.
laura-morales.com.
Cool.
Yeah, really simple, easy to remember. Yeah, so Doctor Strange. So that was my first exposure. What was yours, if you recall?
I would say that my first exposure to Doctor Strange was the 90s animated Spider-Man film. You know that one with what was that, rock and roll? I don't know. The theme song with Spider-Man, radioactive spider blood. That was it.
Yeah. And it was CGI. It used CGI.
No. That was the one that came out after the Tobey Maguire one.
No. This was from the 90s. It used a little bit of CGI, but just for the city.
Oh.
The characters were animated, were just hand-drawn.
Okay.
But it used a little bit of, early CGI,
That's probably true. It's been a long time since I've actually seen it.
It was only for the intro, though. I don't think they used it as much. Well, maybe a little bit for the show.
I thought you were talking about the completely all 3D Spider-Man series.
No.
Based after the first Tobey Maguire.
No, this was very basic, just CGI buildings, and then obviously the hand-drawn Spider-Man was swinging.
I think I remember those buildings.
Yeah, because you remember there was a little bit of that CGI in the 90s, Reboot. You remember Reboot?
I love Reboot.
Yeah, Reboot.
Yeah.
Flashback. So anyway, so you saw him on Spider-Man.
Yeah, and after that, I mean, you know, spoiler alert. I have not read except for maybe a free comic book day thing or something. I've not read an actual Doctor Strange comic. I have read comics that had Doctor Strange as a supporting character, like Spider-Man. There's this comic where Spider-Man tries to warn people about Dormammu, and he gets sent throughout the timeline. I think he gets sent to the end of his life. We've got that really famous Spider-Man in the button-up leather vest or something getting shot by the police. Spoiler. I highly doubt that they're going to put that in the MCU, but, you know, spoiler. That's only one possible timeline, though. And
oh, yeah. Well, they like to...
I think it was a Michael... Not Bendis. I don't think it was Bendis. I don't think it was Bendis. Michael Straczynski, who was one of his, I think.
Okay.
I think.
I've read a few Bendis comics, although not Doctor Strange.
Well, this was Spider-Man. Doctor Strange was just in it.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange and Spider-Man got thrust into the timeline or something, and they had to get back slowly through magic. Like, Spider-Man was going backwards in time to get back to the present day. That's what I was trying to say.
Back to the future?
Back to the past.
Back to the past to get back to the future.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And after that, I saw the animated film that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I saw the Doctor Strange film. I really liked it. I really like Cumberbatch in the role. I think he brings... I really like the 60s art style for Stephen Strange, his design. That might have... I don't really know that... I don't know, don't remember right now if that was Steve Ditko or if that was King Kirby.
It was Steve Ditko was the creator. I was listening to something about
I thought it probably
history of Doctor Strange. So yeah, it was Ditko. I think was the first artist to work on it.
But yeah, I haven't read that, but I really love the art, and I need to go and read that stuff. I just don't know if I'll find the time or not to do it. But yeah, I mean that's basically my only exposures to Doctor Strange is the MCU and a couple of cartoons. Oh, and that one Michael Straczynski book. At least I think Straczynski wrote it.
Sorry, I was trying to look up the name of the Marvel animated film, but it's not coming up on IMDb, which is interesting.
The Marvel what now?
The Marvel animated film. Like the 1978 one's coming up, and then obviously the 2016 live action. But I'm not seeing the... Interesting. Yeah. It's not coming up. But yeah, I did watch it. I didn't imagine that unless I was in a different universe. Who knows? Well, before we go any further, I had this thought as we were talking. I'm going to read for those of you who are brand new to Doctor Strange, maybe you haven't even seen the first film, like me, you haven't really read much of the comics. There it is. Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. You found it. Nice.
I probably can't see that.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's good.
Yeah, it
that
is
the
good.
same. That is the same one I saw.
It's a Marvel animated features. Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme.
So I'm just going to read a little bit from Wikipedia, a good old reliable Wikipedia. Actually, it's pretty reliable, believe it or not.
I was brushing up on Doctor Strange earlier, too.
Let's see. Dr. Stephen Strange is a fictional character. Really? No. Is a fictional character appearing in American comic books.
Real!
Published by Marvel Comics. Created by Steve Ditko with Stan Lee. The character first appeared in Strange Tales number 110. Cover dated July 1963. Dr. Strange serves as the Sorcerer Supreme, the primary protector of Earth against magical and mystical threats. Strange was created during the Silver Age of comic books to bring a different kind of character and themes of mysticism to Marvel Comics. The character begins as an extremely talented but egotistical surgeon, so they kept that through with the live action.
Yeah. It's definitely part of his origin.
Who loses the ability to operate after a car crash severely damaged his hands beyond repair. Searching the globe for healing, he encounters the Ancient One, the Sorcerer Supreme. Strange becomes his student, so he was a man, apparently, at least originally.
Oh, wait, yeah.
But I thought...
He was just a guy.
And I just... Pausing there, like I just rewatched the movie last night, the live action movie last
Right.
night.
Oh, cool.
And like when I first, now I didn't have a lot of investment in the character, but I had heard from other comic book fans like they initially weren't happy with the direction they chose to go for the Ancient One.
Oh, right. Just because they gender bent the character, or what?
Yeah, and they also changed nationality too, like made it a white woman where it was an Asian man in the comics.
I heard the director or somebody, I think it was the director, later said he regretted making it a white woman. I have to admit that was a strange choice.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't mind her being a
Tilda Swinton rocked
woman,
it. Like she's awesome.
Yeah,
like, she's an amazing actress. So no knock on her.
No,
like
no.
But yeah, I do know like some of the
great job.
Doctor Strange fans were upset like about the change. Like
yeah,
I guess he was trying to be original or just like different. I guess.
Well, I mean, as a white person, I don't get nearly as upset as other people about this whole white savior thing. But yeah, we. Not every hero needs to be white, you know. And this character was not originally white, and making it an Asian woman would have been fine. And
yeah, that would have been better.
I mean, I think for me, I was confused that it wasn't the old bearded ancient one man. I mean, you can give a woman a beard if you want, but that's not what I meant. But after seeing it, I was fine with the actress in the role. She did a really great job. Unfortunately, as a white man, I didn't really notice necessarily at first that it was a white person, but it became obvious later. But you know, when people started complaining, it was like, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Why would the ancient one be white? I mean,
well, I wonder because like just having watched the movie, like the they say that she's really old, obviously, because she draws power from the multiverse, the dark verse. I don't know what the right word is for it. Wherever,
you mean Dormammu's dark?
Yeah, wherever Dormammu. I want to say Agamemnon, which that's from something entirely different. I was reading about Greek mythology yesterday. That's what my brain came up with. Dormammu, you know, wherever the universe that he's from, she draws energy from there to keep herself alive.
Dark dimension. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. But
I'm confused.
In the movie, she's Celtic, like originally, and just really old. So I wonder if there was like an iteration at some point in the comics where the ancient one was Celtic. It made me wonder about that.
I don't know. I always thought he was Asian, but maybe he was Celtic. By Asian, I mean like Tibetan. I just assumed the ancient one was Tibetan, but that's just my assumption. I really don't know.
That would fit. I would, you know, like kind of the whole like Buddhist monk kind of feel, you know, Tibetan Buddhist monk.
Well, isn't Tibet the country he finds the ancient one living in with the monastery of magic users?
Not in the live action film. I'm not sure about the comics.
Okay. Well, I just don't remember right now.
Well, actually, let's read a little further here and see what it says. So let's see. Strange becomes the student of the Ancient One and learns to be a master of both the mystical and the martial arts. He acquires an assortment of mystical objects, including the powerful Eye of Agamotto and Cloak of Levitation, and takes up residence in a mansion referred to as the Sanctum Sanctorum, located in 177A Bleecker Street, Greenwich Village, New York City. Strange assumes the title of Sorcerer Supreme and, with his friend and valet Wong, defends the world from mystical threats. Let's see. Let's see. Let's look at the early years here. So, Doctor Strange debuted in Strange Tales number 110 in July 1963. A split book shared with the feature The Human Torch, which, speaking of which...
Which Human Torch?
Yeah, he makes a brief, at least I'm assuming it's the Human Torch, I don't know who else it would be, like in the trailer. I just rewatched the trailer yesterday. I don't know if you picked up on that when you saw it.
What, for the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, the Human Torch makes a little appearance in the trailer.
Okay, well...
I was like, ugh, the Fantastic Four are coming.
That's interesting. I mean, they have the ability to throw in all sorts of characters in the multiverse. When I say the multiverse, I mean Fox Films and Sony Films, and just do whatever they legally want to and can. And,
yeah, because Disney owns the world now. So
yeah, well, Disney owns Fox now.
Yeah,
so
they own Fox.
They don't have any issues there.
Yeah, so they own the rights to Fantastic Four
and
X-Men, I guess too, right? Was that Fox? X-Men?
Yes,
Or was it Paramount?
It was Fox. It was Fox. Yeah, Fox. I'm sorry, my wires are crossed. I was thinking X-Men animated series. But whether it's the Fox Kids animated series or the Fox films, X-Men has definitely been a Fox property for a long time. I actually think that's how Marvel kept themselves from going bankrupt and going out of business, is that they sold film rights to Fox and Sony. Mm-hmm. And once they got themselves out of their financial issues, then they were able to start making their own films.
Yeah, I think that was...
And that's been an issue because some of their best characters are tied up elsewhere.
Yeah.
Or were.
Spider-Man obviously being the biggest, Sony and Disney have been hashing it out.
Apparently they're still working together. The end of Morbius had a MCU multiverse thing in the post-credits.
Yeah.
Don't want to get too much spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
it's been out for a while, so if you haven't seen it yet, sorry. Yeah. Also, go listen to our review of Morbius a couple episodes back.
But, and I wanted to talk about some of the people we might be seeing in this film, but I don't know if we should talk about that now or later.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it now. Yeah.
So, what have you heard? I've heard some rumors. And I've seen things in the trailer, too.
Yeah, obviously, the first one that hit me was Professor X. Obviously.
Right. Yes, he is definitely in that.
I mean, yeah, Patrick Stewart's voice is unmistakable.
Absolutely, so, Patrick Stewart.
So, so he's... Now, the question I've heard is, whether it's, Prime Universe Professor X or whether it's, a variant Professor X.
Yeah.
He's on some kind of
You mean the X-Men Prime Universe, or what are we talking
about?
Or,
the film universe. Is it, because Patrick Stewart is playing the character, so is it the same one that Patrick Stewart plays in X-Men 1, 2, and 3?
I don't know. Deadpool's really confused about that.
Yeah. Oh man. But, I was watching Deadpool and Cord review.
Review the trailer. Was exciting.
Review the trailer of Free Guy earlier today. That was funny.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you about that sooner. I was just excited. Deadpool is in the MCU now.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Well, I don't know if he's going to make an appearance in Doctor Strange. That would be funny.
I don't know, but I really want him to.
Yeah,
I'm hoping. I don't have any evidence or leaks, but I'm hoping. There might have been a rumor at one point that Ryan Reynolds was going to play a... Yes, there was. I remember now. There was a rumor that he was going to play a version of Deadpool, but they didn't think... The leaked rumors claimed it wasn't going to be the same Deadpool.
Well, yeah, because he's going to be dropping F-bombs in the MCU, right?
No, but I think they can easily do it. He can just be like... They start bleeping him out, and he's like...
PG-13 version. Oh, yeah, or just do that. Bloop.
He's like, darn mouse or something, you know? Because Deadpool... breaks the fourth wall. He knows he's in a movie, but they could do it.
So I finally saw the Deadpool films just a couple months ago.
I liked the second one the best.
Oh yeah, the second one was great. Because it had some heart to it, and it's still hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Ryan Reynolds, obviously, his best role. He would say that too, I'm sure. But yes, hilarious.
Well, he
hilarious.
Definitely doesn't want to.
And very very uncomfortable. The scene with. Where he gets after he gets cut in half, and then his lower half is regrowing, and he's just going commando there in his apartment with the blind woman.
I won't lie. In both films, there was some things that I didn't like, I didn't prefer, but I love Ryan Reynolds, and I was a big Deadpool. Well, not Ghostbusters big, but I really liked Deadpool before these movies were even made. So.
Yeah, I remember that. You like the comics and stuff, and
which are less R-rated than the movies.
Yeah, because they're probably more like PG-13 rated, TV-14, PG-13. The kind of that. That realm. I mean, comics can get pretty violent, but
they can. I mean, DC's got Black Label now, but for the most part, comics, Marvel comics, DC comics, they have gotten into some more mature areas, but for the most part, they haven't necessarily been Deadpool R-rated. They haven't gone into the R-rated stuff. That's why DC created Black Label, so they could explore more mature things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Batman's been heading that direction like for a while. Like,
I mean, just miss Adam West.
Yeah. Yeah, and Joel Schumacher, may he rest in peace. No, actually, I don't know if he's dead or not.
I don't know.
His film should be dead.
Which films did he make again?
Oh man, no, the last one he made.
Ones you were talking about?
Batman and Robin.
Yes, I was wondering if you were talking about those.
Was it? Wait. No. Yeah, Batman and Robin. Yeah, that's the one that should die. Poor George Clooney. His run as Batman. Yeah, Schumacher was trying to evoke...
Don't like Dr. Fleas?
He was trying
That's terrible.
It's the only Batman movie I could not finish. I still have not finished it to this day.
You didn't want to stare at the bat nipples?
On principle. No, man, when the Bat Skates came out, I was like, no, and I turned it off. I'm like, Bat Skates? Like, what is this? Like,
I think it's...
Yeah, because it's like, you don't know what you want to be. Like, because like Batman Forever was like...
or dark?
Yeah, it's like you can't...
I like Forever.
Because the wonderful thing about the 60s TV show is like it knew it was campy and it owned it.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't, you know, with the exception of Adam West, who's like playing it straight all the way, which makes it even funnier. It's not trying to be serious in any way. Whereas Batman Forever and Batman and Robin couldn't figure out what they wanted to be. You know, and just...
Well,
anyway.
I haven't rewatched that film forever anyway. I own it and I still haven't rewatched it.
Yeah, I forget. I think I don't know if I rented it or what, but like I started it and I couldn't finish it. Like,
you need to finish it just for the principle of you paid money.
I don't remember if I paid money or not. I may have gotten it from the library, so
then you're excused.
Anyway, this is a Marvel segment, not a DC segment.
Well, they have crossovers.
So real quick in our last few minutes here, we did both rewatch at least part of the What If episode with Doctor Strange in it.
Confession, I didn't have time today.
Okay, so you didn't finish it, but we both seen it. You know, and it's a pretty simple plot line, but like, how do you think that might connect to the upcoming film?
Well, trailers seem to suggest that the evil, or whatever we call him, Doctor Strange from the What If, will be in the film. I've also heard that Captain Carter will be in this film.
I heard that too, yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, there's been rumors of supposedly of different things. Ryan Reynolds as a Deadpool, if not the Deadpool. Captain Carter. American Chavez is definitely in it.
Is that the name of her character, or is that...
That's her character.
Okay.
American I don't Chavez? Think she has
Yeah,
that's her superhero.
She's not Miss Marvel.
No, but I can understand why that would be a confusion. I'm less knowledgeable on American Chavez, more knowledgeable on Brain Fart. What was that other girl? With the giant fists in the beginning. Yeah, people are upset they changed her superpowers in the upcoming TV show on Disney Plus.
Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel, that's it. But, you know, I really look forward to her show. I mean, I really like that character in general. But, American Chavez, I think she's Spanish, whereas Miss Marvel is Muslim. They do both have dark skin, and they're both teenage girls. I don't really know anything about American Chavez except for the creator is upset and he went off and created a different American Chavez that he can now publish outside of Marvel, but it's not called American Chavez, obviously.
It's probably America Chavez or Chavez.
I don't know.
I mean, if it's Spanish, then it's Chavez.
But I mean, that's what happens to us artists sometimes. We work contract. What we create belongs to the publishing company, you know. And that's why, personally, when it comes to my self-published stuff, if I ever get a publisher I want creator on, that's beside the point. So American Chavez is definitely going to be in it. That's no secret.
Yeah, and I saw something today on, I believe it was my Instagram feed, people speculating about whether White Vision like from the
is
going to be in it,
yeah,
like
that's
from
cool.
from WandaVision.
Which Paul Bettany's been talking about his return lately, but he didn't say when or where. He just said he is going to come back. So yeah, that might be well timed right there.
It would make sense too, because Wanda Maximoff obviously is a big part of this film.
Would. I mean,
and like
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, and like next week episode, we're going to be talking about Wanda Maximoff.
I'll save that for next week.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, and I'm planning to rewatch WandaVision this coming week in preparation for that, because I couldn't get into it like when I first started watching it. I was like, "What is this?" And but then I heard people. So I paused. Like I started watching the first episode, and I was like, But then people are saying it gets better. It gets better. They start leaving little secrets, and it gets more interesting. And you figure out what the shtick is with the sitcom stuff, and so I kept going. You know, I picked it back up and kept going with it. It ended up being really awesome. And so I'm going to rewatch that. I'm planning to anyway, rewatch it this coming week. And then next week we'll talk about Wanda Maximoff the day before. And then we'll do in fact, we need to go ahead and buy our tickets.
When is that coming out?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday? Wow.
Yeah.
Right around the
next
corner.
Thursday night. Yeah, we should buy our tickets and make sure we get seats. Then we'll do a bonus episode where we do an instant reaction review of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, I'm excited. Like, I thought about titling this episode like, "Do we care about Doctor Strange?" Like, do we care about the actual character of Doctor Strange, or just about all the things that will be revealed? You know, and how exciting that will be. It's like, and I thought,
why are we going to see the movie?
Yeah,
is that the question?
Yeah, which I think I do like. I like Benedict Cumberbatch, and I think he does an outstanding job. I was thinking earlier, it's like, who. So I didn't have a lot of investment, so I didn't necessarily have ideas about like, who should have played Doctor Strange, or who did I want to play Doctor Strange. To me, like, he did an awesome job.
The 1960s art style looks like a soap opera actor.
But it's like, who might we have picked as an alternate for Benedict? Like who else could have? I mean, there's a lot of accomplished actors out there, but like, who else would have been a good Doctor Strange? It's like,
and also played Sherlock Holmes. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's a little joke.
I was trying to think.
Robert Downey Jr. also played Sherlock Holmes. I think if you got like Sherlock Holmes in the MCU, I forget.
That's true. Yeah, you have two MCU people who have both played Sherlock Holmes. Which I have to say, I prefer Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock.
Yes,
by far, to Robert Downey. No knock on Robert. I like those movies, but yeah, Benedict owns that character, man. Like, he's my favorite Sherlock Holmes. I have to say.
I haven't even seen that. Just Robert Downey Jr. I like those movies. I love their energy, but he's just an awkward Sherlock.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is awkward. Yeah.
I mean, he definitely brings personality to the character. This is off topic. I like Sherlock Holmes, but Sherlock Holmes is kind of dry. Not funny.
Yeah, like, if he... I
Sherlock
appreciate
Holmes like a sociopath.
Like, Sherlock, the BBC series, Sherlock.
Like
if you haven't seen it, check it out, because it's awesome. If you have any affinity for Sherlock Holmes, or if you just like damn good television, go watch it. It's really good. Like, each episode, like, there's only like 3 or 4 episodes per season or something like that. So each one's like a movie, and it's really well done. And you have Martin Freeman, who plays Watson, obviously. Anyway, but yeah, like, I've liked his work, and I loved him as Khan in.
He played Khan
in Star Trek. Like, I love he made it very different choices than Ricardo Montalban, the original Khan from the TOS.
We're talking about the new Khan then.
Yeah, so like Benedict played Khan in the...
Benedict played Khan.
Yeah, he played Khan in the newer movies.
I didn't recognize
him. And he was awesome. Like, and he very different tone and feel than the original Khan, which I thought was smart, like, to go a different direction with that. And he owned the screen in that. Like, it was just, man, dude's, yeah, he rocks it. So, but yeah, I honestly don't know who I would have picked again, because I didn't have much investment in the character, so it's like, see, Benedict, like he nailed it. So, hey, that might be a question for any of you out there, any of our listeners/viewers who really love Doctor Strange and are more invested in the character, have read the comics, and all of that. If you have an opinion about who you thought should have played him, or who you think could play him better than Benedict, let us know. Drop us a line. Like, give us some feedback. Send us a voice message. So that's, let's see. It's anchor.fm/irreverent nerd / message. So yeah, go there and you can leave us a voice message. We'll include it. I mean, as long as it's clean enough, you know.
Yes.
It's okay if you drop a few F-bombs. Like, if you're, like, blasting somebody that you hate, then we'll probably not put it on next week's episode. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But no, you know, I think most of you wouldn't do that. So, but yeah, leave us a message, and we'll find a spot for it in next week's episode. But yeah, let us know. Like,
yeah, well, let's make it a thing.
Yeah. Like, who would you have wanted as Doctor Strange, or even now, like say if Benedict
fan mail
hung up the cape, so to speak, would you want him to be replaced, and if so, by whom?
Spider-Man. Spider-Man needs to wear that cape.
Oh yeah.
I'm kidding.
There you go.
That's from a What If episode.
So, hey guys, I think we're going to conclude our video podcast. I think we'll do two versions, because like we're going to do our little features, like our sci-fi focus and our Japan jaunt as audio, but I think what we'll do is release like an audio only version of the podcast.
Yeah.
And then a video version of the podcast. I think that'll be cool.
And feel free to leave any in the comments. We got comments, right?
Let's see. Well, to leave comments, like probably the easiest way.
Send us a voice message.
Yeah, send us a voice message, or
what would you like
can
to see?
You can DM us on Irreverent Nerd Instagram as well. That's another way, and those are probably the two best ways to get in touch with us. We haven't put a lot of content up on YouTube yet, so you can't really comment on there too much. But yeah, those would be the two best ways so far, is like to either comment on one of our posts on Instagram, or send a direct message, or leave a voice message for us on anchor.fm. On our profile there. So.
What would you guys like to see me cover in Japantown? I mean, I've only got 5 minutes, but gonna figure this out. I'm thinking with only 5 minutes, maybe instead of do like a really detailed review, maybe I can just be like, hey, check this out. This is awesome. My first one on Wolfman versus Godzilla was really good, because there wasn't a lot to cover in that anyway. But the recent Turtles anime, just too much detail there. But yeah, let me know. Let us know if there's anything you guys would like me to cover in Japan Jaunt. I think next time I might do Stan Sakai's Sogyo Jumbo. I might do go to Japanese folklore and just completely leave the entertainment media industry and talk about Japanese folklore, from the actual country.
Yeah, man.
That's cool too. But
I find that stuff fascinating. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, if you have an idea for a future episode or a segment that you'd like us to wax philosophical or humorous about, we're good at. Well, I don't know about the humor, but we're good at like waxing philosophical and thoughtful. I feel like we have fun though. Like, I feel like I think we're funny. If you guys don't, that's okay. We have a good time. We have a good time. What'd you say?
Wolverine. There's been leaks that Wolverine's going to be in the film, but one leak said Hugh Jackman, another leak said somebody who's not Hugh Jackman, and also, and this is pretty much confirmed, but who's that guy? I know this is a really famous guy. I'm having a brain fart. That guy from Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise. I think it was Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah. I remember that he's going to show as a variant Iron Man.
Yeah, so that's pretty... I'm pretty sure... I feel like that one isn't really a rumor. That's actually true, though. The separate Human Torches we were talking about earlier, there was a robot Human Torch that's actually already been in the MCU. It was in the first Captain America film, the robot in the case of the World Fair. But that's why I was asking Richard earlier, which Human Torch,
because with the multiverse, like, you probably could do Chris Evans, although he's so recognizable as Captain America now that I don't know if that would work.
I think they'd still do it.
But why not? Yeah. Johnny could be Johnny Storm.
But after Spider-Man No Way Home, anything is possible.
yeah. But then there's the very forgettable Fantastic Four that came out a few years ago.
I haven't even seen it.
So boring.
I didn't want to see it.
Which is sad because it had great actors in it. You had Michael B. Jordan, you had Miles Teller, you had
Jordan deserved better.
Dang it.
Did Michael B. Jordan come back to play MCU as the
Oh yeah, he
Killmonger?
was Killmonger, yeah. So it's
he was built by that time.
It was sad, like, because you had good actors in there, and it just fell flat. It's kind of like the last Airbender movie by Shyamalan. Just something didn't work. It was
Shyamalan
flat.
Oh, we both love it.
Oh man. Anyway, don't get us started on that.
It's not Shyamalan's fault. He loves that media too.
So for our video audience, we're signing off for now, and we'll see you next week, or you'll see us next week. But for our audio audience, stay tuned for a couple of segments, our sci-fi focus and our Japan jaunt. And then you'll be hearing from us next Wednesday as we talk about Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch.
That's right.
Peace, fellow nerds. Live long and prosper.
Should have done that.
Yeah. May the Force be with you. Make it so.
Gotta go fast.
I'm Batman. Hey nerds, Richard here, taking a moment to give you an unscripted advertisement for Anchor.fm. So, I have been using them as my hosting site from the very beginning of the Irreverent Nerd podcast, and it's been great. I can record episodes directly into the app or the website, depending on how you're using it. Right now I'm recording on PC through their website. And you can put it directly into an episode. You can save recordings in a library and add any previous recording you've made into a future episode. You can go back and edit episodes after you've already published them. You can unpublish episodes that have already been published, say if you got convicted of libel or slander, whichever it is. Any of that, Also, they offer free licensed music, interludes, sound effects, and if you're willing to put your episode only on Spotify, you can include modern, royalty-free music. That's right. It'll connect you to 30 seconds of any song that's available on Spotify in the episode. Now, if you choose not to do that, you can distribute your podcast anywhere that podcasts are found. You can copy your RSS feed, like I've distributed to Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, let's see what else. Amazon Music recently, Reason.fm, to name just a few. Got Stitcher up and running, I think, as well. So you can spread it anywhere. But if you choose to do exclusive podcasts with Spotify, there's extra features, including just recently they've added the ability to upload video content. Yes, that's right. You can make a video podcast just like Joe Rogan, and it will play great on Spotify in the app. And if you move to the background, it goes immediately to audio. Smooth transition. I've tried it out. Listened to my own episode. My buddy Will and I just recorded one recently. So check it out. Anchor.fm. This is my final entry in the Star Trek Captains series. I feel like I haven't done justice to any one of the captains. Each deserves more of an homage than I have had the time to give them. And yet, it seems that merely revisiting what I have learned from them has been an important homage in and of itself. Star Trek taught me a lot about leadership through its many series. Each captain portrayed over time a unique approach to commanding their crew. Each captain, in their own way, embodied the values of Starfleet and the Federation. Jonathan Archer is no exception. He was, in a word, a trailblazer. He was the very first captain of a starship named Enterprise. Long before Kirk or Picard took on that mantle, Archer pioneered it. He learned on the job in a way that no captain after him had to. He blazed the trail, and the galaxy was better for it. In preparation for today's segment, I rewatched the Enterprise episode Judgment, a favorite of actor Scott Bakula. I was reminded both of Archer's self-righteous temper, hard to forget, as well as his compassion for sentient beings who were being oppressed. In this episode, he displayed great courage in the face of his own mortality as a verdict of capital punishment hung over his head while he awaited the verdict of the Klingon tribunal. I think if I could choose one trait of Archer's to emphasize, it would be that, his courage. True courage can only be displayed in doing what is right, it seems to me. Villains, those who would cause unnecessary harm to other sentient beings, sometimes display a brash arrogance, a daring demeanor, but this is not the same as courage. Captain Archer showed true courage throughout his time leading the Enterprise, and in so doing inspired many Starfleet officers who followed in his footsteps. I am speaking about the Star Trek universe as if it is real. I understand it is a work of fiction, but many of us who grew up watching it long for its values to become a reality in this world. The values of the Federation. Perhaps we need some Archers to lead the way, with their rough and ready courage, so that those who follow can grab hold of the dream of peace. Peace for mankind. Can we achieve it? Let us try.
Hey, this is Cartoonist Will, and welcome to another episode of Japan Jaunt. Last time on Japan Jaunt, we ran out of time. We were talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles OVA. That's right, the Ninja Turtles did have an anime. It was to promote and sell a toy line from 1995. As far as I know, that toy line did not sell anywhere outside of Japan. The first toy line was called Super Mutants, and the second toy line, I believe, was called Metal Mutants, or Metal Mutations. In the first toy line, the theme was Sentai Rangers, Super Sentai like the Power Rangers. Shredder, Rocksteady, and Bebop, the four Turtle brothers, Splinter, they all got these mutations. The anime loosely uses those and creates some new forms as well. We have, in the anime, we have Dragon Shredder and we have Kaiju Dragon Shredder, which do not exist in the toy line. Also, in the anime, Splinter does not receive a Metmutastone mutation, thankfully, because his toy is ugly. As a matter of fact, they're all ugly, but Splinter is a complete bad butt in this 2-episode series. Yes, the OVA only lasts 2 episodes, probably because there were only 2 toy lines. Anyway, so the humor in these episodes is really great. I really believe that they hold up a lot better than the 87 show that they are tied to. Yes, this is in the continuity of the 1987 Ninja Turtles show. The first episode, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Super Mutant Legends, or Ninja Turtles Superman Legends in the Japanese. The first episode came out in 96, and the second episode came out in 97, and as we all know, the 87 cartoon reached its final season and ended in 96. So this continues that show. The Japanese voice actors came back, most of them anyway, to voice their characters, and it really is in that continuity. Anyway, so in the first episode, Shredder is turned into a kaiju monster by the Dark Mew evil fairy, and tsunami destroys New York. And in the second episode, and this is what we didn't get to talk about last time, the Turtles go to Japan because Master Splinter, aka in this series, the mutated, formerly human Hamato Yoshi, is summoned to Japan to help out the Hattori Shinobi village. Now, I'm confused because this episode gives continuity that when Master Splinter was the human Hamato Roshi, that he taught the now adult shinobi here. He put them through intensive training. He was basically some sort of head ninja, training them, head shinobi. So I don't know. Is this supposed to be the Foot Clan? Because you do know Hamato Roshi, Master Splinter, is actually from the Foot Clan, and that the Ninja Turtles are trained in Foot Clan ninjutsu, correct? Right? You know that, right? Anyway, so it's another hilarious episode. The Ninja Turtles are just out in public. In the first episode, April keeps saying about how the mayor's going to be mad at them for trashing the city. All those people drowned, by the way. But anyway, jokes aside, more jokes. Krang sends our 3 villains to Japan, and the teleporter puts them in front of a bullet train where they get ran over. Just great episode. Shredder and Rocksteady and Bebop joke about having to fight real ninjas this time. In this episode, the Turtles plus our 3 villains, they all get some magic armor that's a combination of Zord, Transformers, and the Saint Seiya cartoon. I'm not familiar with that much, but I've been doing a lot of research. Anyway, I know, shame on me. I need to go watch Saint Seiya now. Anyway, so it's just, there's so much to talk about. It can't possibly be covered in 5 minutes. It's another great episode. They go to the Shinobi Village, the spirit of Hattori. Why can't I remember? Took some notes here. There's a legendary ninja who existed in real Japanese history. I'm just trying to remember his name, but he is the forefather of the Hattori. Hattori Hanzo. So Hattori Hanzo is the forefather of the Shinobi. Whether or not they're Foot Clan, I don't know. Speaking of which, Shredder is overcome with emotion when he learns he's in Japan because Krang didn't tell them where he was sending them before he booted them into the teleporter. Hilarious jokes. Krang keeps calling Shredder Sawaki-chan, which annoys him to no end. He hates it, and in return he calls Krang Octopus, or Taki in Japanese. Is it Taki or Taco? I forget. Maybe it's Taco. But anyway, it's just a lot of jokes. The shrine housing the new Metastones, because the old Metastones were destroyed when Chris Mew and Dark Mew were imprisoned. So they all lost those transformations. The new Mutastones are in this mirror in a shrine in the Shinobi Village. What they need Splinter's help with is the ghost of Hattori Hanzo is plaguing them and after these stones, and he helps Shredder, Rocksteady, and Bebop get them. The ninjas, the Shinobi, they have a security system. A giant fortress comes out of the earth, and the mirror's now on top of this giant hidden fortress castle. They all climb it. Leo jokes about it being overkill, then later Leo says, "Hey, why aren't we taking the stairs?" And a crow flies by and calls everybody stupid. It's really hilarious. Like I said, I think the writer of these 2 episodes, this is just some good quality. And like I said, I don't think it. I don't think the original '87 Turtle show aged all that well, but these are still great. And I recommend them. So, if you love the Ninja Turtles, the original '87 series, check these 2 out. You can find them on YouTube. That is Superman Legends Ninja Turtles, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Legend of the Super Mutants. It's really great stuff. They set it up for more episodes, but no more episodes came, because at the end of the episodes, the bad guys get away with their Mutastones, and the Turtles promise the Shinobi Village they'll retrieve the 3 missing stones and put them back in the mirror. And the Turtles even say, "Hey, what's up with Hattori Hanzo's ghost? Why are you here?" So that mystery is open. It's left open, and it really feels like there's going to be more, but it doesn't happen. And I don't know why. I would assume it's simply because there were only 2 toy lines, and these episodes are only made to sell toys, and they just never planned on making an entire series. Maybe the toys didn't sell well. I don't know. If they had sold well, would it have made them want to make more episodes? I don't know. Anyway, you check that out, and we'll see you next time. Next time on Japan John. You take care. Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode. You can follow us on Instagram at irreverent_nerd. That is at irreverent_nerd. We also have a YouTube channel, appropriately titled Irreverent Nerd. If you'd like to leave a voice message to be included on a future episode, go to anchor.fm/irreverentnerd/message and drop us a line. Until next time, our fellow nerds, make it so. May the Force be with you. Avengers assemble! I'm Batman.